Welcome back, everyone. I'm Niharika, your host for the last session of the day. We now move into session three, and this one is a double because we are diving into two core subjects that define logic, observation, and application science and mathematics. And to lead this high impact session, we are joined by none other than Neelmani Srivastav sir, a name students across the country recognize and trust. With a reputation built on concept clarity, engaging delivery, and result oriented strategies, NMS Sir has been mentoring thousands of classes 10 and 12 students across India. He is widely known for breaking down even the most complex scientific and mathematical concepts into simple, relatable explanations and for training students not just to understand the subject but to excel in the exam. His sessions are of high energy, interactive, and always
Good evening, all
filled
of you.
with practical tips, memorable shortcuts, and exam focused insights. Get your notebooks ready. This one's going to be fast paced, focused, and full of takeaways. Before we begin, a quick housekeeping reminder. Participants will be muted throughout the session. Please ensure you have a pen and a paper to note important information. The chat box will only be enabled during the question answer round or as required by an MSR. To receive your e-certificate, please fill out the feedback form that will be sent to your registered email ID after the session. So, over to you. Sir, you are on mute.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Do you find me audible and visible now?
Yes, sir, you are.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for confirming this, that I'm audible to my all dear students who are here with an hope that they're going to crack this board examination with flying colors. Bacho, my name is Neelmani Srivastav. I'm IIT Kanpur graduate, and not only IIT Kanpur graduate, I was one of the merit list holder in 10th class board examination in UP board. Even it was not CBSE board, but board arts board. You have to understand the strategy of how to write your examination in boards. But now things are changing. Things are changing in a very good direction. Why it is happening? Because now government policy makers are believing that if we want to really strengthen the school system, we have to change the examination pattern. We have to mold students to think about the science and maths. They understand what is happening. That's why they have introduced competency-based question. What competency-based question mean? Competency-based question means the question which will make you competent, which will not make you rattu tota, which will make you to understand science and maths. Because if you are not understanding, if you talk about the years where board examination has been done, then those time, and in that time, if you mug up everything clearly, you can crack board examination and get good rank, get good percentage. But it is my observation, because I am training for IIT JEE and NEET for last 20 years. This is my observation. Even after getting good marks in board examinations, students are unable to crack these kind of competitive exams like IIT JEE and NEET. Why the reason? What was the reason? The policy maker understood the reason. The reason was that the whole examination pattern is based on rote learning. And if rote learning is there, it is not at all going to change the future of a nation. A nation will be developed from developing only if the youth, you guys are going to contribute in, and you guys can contribute in if you have a capability of tackling with these competency based questions. So this is very, very important for us. to understand this is not something bad happening with you. They are pushing you to work hard, think hard, use your brain so that you will be a useful asset for the country, for the world in future time. So never ever get disheartened by this. The things are getting difficult. They are not getting difficult. They are actually making you strong. They are making you a man with a strong backbone. They are making you. They're making you what you are. You are an intellectual species in this universe. And if you are intellectual species, you have to use your brain, and that is what it is all about. And I know that you all understand that, because you are not only interested in, I just want to clear class 10 board examination, I want to become an engineer, I want to become a doctor, I want to go to IT, I want to go to AIMS, I want to go to MIT, I want to do research, because you yourself are motivated enough. I know that. Why I know that? Because last time when we were there in August, we have announced a quiz, and you guys have participated in that quiz with full force. You guys tried to perform very well. You have done exceptionally good in this case. But obviously, we cannot. I admire every one of you who wrote that examination, but obviously result is result. Result is very, very brutal thing to happen. It does not see who has performed what. It always sees the result, and results are out. I am going to announce the topper's name and their school's name, and I am proud of them and their school, their parent, and they themselves must be proud of them that they have done exceptionally well and scored best marks among all of them, and you got first, second, third rank. So we are going to talk about those students. We are going to talk about those students who stood first, second, third in the quiz we have taken. So in that quiz, we have separate quiz for science, we have a separate quiz for mathematics, and I am going to announce the names of those winners. And I really want to congratulate them, their parents, and their schools and their teachers, because if you think as a student this is all your achievement, this is not at all correct, beta. Remember one thing: whatever you are going to achieve in your life, it is not just because of you. They are everybody around you, your parents, your sibling, your uncle, your auntie. They might curse you, they might say bad things about you, but they always want you to excel in your life. Their teacher, your principal, your school friends, everybody contributes in that. And I really want you to share this thing to everyone, that I got this prize in the S Chance a quiz test, and I performed very well, because and thank them. And thank them. This, I understand that there is a small contribution of your also. Every teacher, everybody, every friend of you, every family member, just thank them after knowing your name. And please, I'm talking to those students who didn't get the first, second, third rank. There is nothing to dishearten. A bad result, if you're not achieving something in a particular paper, that does not imply that you're not going to do anything better in life. That is not a direct correlation with this. If you are failing in one test, it does not mean you are going to fail in every test. You can get success even better than those who got first, second, third rank. So never ever get disappointed by this also. And I believe that, because it is my willpower. It is my willpower which will say, if there is a storm, I have to bend down, or I have to play straight. I have to be straight. This is what makes your character. This is what makes you a human being. This is what makes you warrior. This is what makes you successful man. So never ever get disappointed, and just restart everything. Every day there must be a restart, that I'm going to achieve this, I'm going to do this. Am I clear to all of you? And please, you can keep on writing on the chat box. I mean, you're free to talk, because this is the interaction session about you. This session is about you. I want your point of view. I want to know your questions, and I'm going to answer each of them in my capacity. If I understood your point of view, I'll definitely see, because I have a good experience of 20 years as I was a good student. I'm a good teacher. So I'm not praising myself. I'm just saying, because I was always honest in my teaching profession, because this was something I believe, that if you teach well to the students. You are carving their future, and this is my responsibility to carve your future in the best possible way. So I always try to be honest. So the wait is over. Now I'm going to introduce the three winners. I hope you have seen your name if your name is there, and I hope you haven't seen your name if your name is not there. But I'm going to announce their names by myself. We got two Aditya. Do you understand? Aditya mean Aditya is sun. Aditya is a Paryayavachi, Hindi Paryayavachi of sun. I hope Aditya must be knowing this. Aditya, are you there? Aditya Patra was the first student. He got the first rank, and he is from SD Dev Public School, Jamtara, Jharkhand. You might have seen a Netflix series named Jamtara. So it is not the, if you see one portion of a city, that does not say everything about city. Sometimes this is very important to understand, being a human being, because if you have heard, because I'm sorry for changing my path, but it is a very important point to understand. If you heard anything bad about a particular reason, particular religion, that doesn't mean everybody from that reason or religion or anything are of the same kind. You might have heard bad things about Jamtara because in that Netflix it is shown there. But there are some students like Aditya also. Aditya is there. Aditya is there who is totally into studies, who is totally into something what every parent want him to be. So thank you, and I really want to clap about him, Aditya Patra. Thank you very much, beta, for participating and performing well in the examination. I'll be more than happy if I can see you once and I can talk to you once. And the second position is Aditya Jaiswal. Aditya Jaiswal is from St. Joseph School, Kaushambi, Uttar Pradesh. यूपी बिहार झारखंड छाया हुआ है. यूपी बिहार झारखंड छाया हुआ है. So this is sometimes people see that people from Bihar are not doing this. They भैया है, यूपी भैया, बिहार भैया, ऐसा कह रहे हैं. But if you see this result, they have done exceptionally well. It is also a very important lesson to all others. From never ever see anything on the basis of caste, religion, color, how he look, what kind of cloth, what kind of watch he wear, what kind of specs he wear, what kind of shoes he wear. Always judge anybody with the capability he has, because it is not his capability what he wear. It is not his capability what color he belongs, what color he has, what color of skin he has. It is not his responsibility what caste he is. It is not his responsibility. His responsibility is to study well and do well in their life. And if he or she is doing that thing particularly well, you have to salute them and you have to make friend to them, because this is very much important. Yes, I should be judged with something what I have created. I should not be judged with something what my family, my luck has brought to me. This is very important, because you are the future of this nation. You have to believe in this, that every human must be recognized by only his contribution, his work, his caliber, not by the caste, religion, and reason, anything. I hope you guys understood it, and I really want you have to understand this thing very well. And the third is Sahid Anwar. Sahid Anwar from Emmanuel School, Motihari, Bihar. Sahid Anwar. So we have three winners, and we really want to clap for them. These are the three winners, and they have done exceptionally well in the science examination. And now I'm going to talk about the mathematics winner. Mathematics winners, wow. So we got the variety of things. I mean, I was thinking there is no girl there, but now we can see a girl also coming at the first position, because this is very important. Women has to come up and they have to work well, because they are equal. They are equally capable. They are equal. I mean, if this is something I have to talk about, this is also a kind of shame to our society. If I have to say it, they are equal. Why this question comes? Men should be said to be equal to women. Men and women, if I need to talk about equality, this is shame for me. This is shame to me as a society member, because this should not be the question that they are equal or not. but I really want their participation because of the history, because of the situation we have gone through, the society from where we are evolving. I understand that it was definitely we have to show our caliber as a woman. And Arundhati Patra got the first rank, and in mathematics. In mathematics, it is also very fascinating thing, and it is very enticing for all other girls to do well. In mathematics, Arundhati got the first rank, and she is from DAV Model School, Sankarpur, West Bengal. West Bengal. And the second position is Ari Voglikar, and she is from Prodigy Public School, Maharashtra. And the third is Sri Shant Kumar, Gyan Bharati Senior Secondary School, Tekri, Bihar. So these three students have performed well, and we need to clap for them also because they have done exceptionally well in mathematics examination. Because maths and science, why in early stage every student is taught maths and science? Because maths and science is totally logical. And once you become logical, you can think logically in every other aspects of life also, because life is not about these math, chemistry, physics, but life is all about logical reasoning. Life is all about taking right decision. Life is all about taking getting staying there in the case of failure. Life is all about attitude of never giving up. Life is full. Life is your exam. Every day is your exam. Never ever think that board is one of the examination which people recognize, but life is an exam which happens every day. Now we are again back to the understanding this competency-based question, and for that I'll invite one of my colleague Rehan, who was there in last time also with me, and we used to discuss, because we really talk about science and maths. We really talk about science and maths, and and we really want to see if Rehan's voice is coming, or we can share the mic if it's not working. Rehan sir, please come and let's discuss things.
Hello. Am I audible? Am I visible? Hello, hi, everyone. Glad to be here. Just tell me whether you can hear me or not.
Is sir audible to all of you?
Hello.
Yeah, so it's both audible and visible.
Absolutely, very good.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. So my name is Rehan Qureshi, or we are going to talk about how to help you learn things, right, sir?
Yes.
So, as far as I know, sir, I am on the side of students. I'll ask questions, and not all students are extroverts. Some students are like me, introverts, who cannot ask their own questions. So, I am from their side.
Okay.
So, I'll ask you questions, and like to begin with, we are going to talk about pedagogy. So pedagogy is a Greek word, pados and agos. So pados means child, and agos means to lead. So basically, we have to lead the child. Now, there's an interesting thing. Learn is a verb. Learning means we have to help them doing things, and from doing things, they'll learn automatically. And what we can do, and in pedagogy, like pedagogy, if you see the Google definition, it is the art or science of teaching. So teaching, how can we make it interesting? Years of experience we bring in. What changes we are going to make in asking questions? There are different types of subjects. In subjects, there are different types of topics. In topics, there are different types of concepts. So some questions, you can say, based on different topics, we can ask different questions and in different formats. Some of the questions require analytical skills. So we can give them some activities from that. By doing that particular activity, they'll learn something out of it. Another thing is that we can ask situation or scenario based questions. And like all these things, how we are putting all these things in questions, what are the strategies students are going to follow to make them help them to learn things in a better way. But I guess
okay. Sir, first of all, I'll take one question from one of the students and then I'll answer a question because you have come up with a very important question and I have to answer it. First question, the question a student asked, what, sir, what to do when we were confused and stuck in one of the question in the paper and to manage time? So obviously you are talking about examination pressure. If you are stuck in a question in examination, then this is a clear cut advice, leave that question right away. We can revisit this question later, but don't waste time in that particular question. Believe me, in J mains and NEET journey, what I used to say, which is a similar case in board examination also, because now the questions are competency based. If after reading a particular question, you cannot come up with the idea that what is happening in this particular question, and you cannot see a path by which you are going to get the correct answer, it is not a good idea to invest time on that at the time of examination. You should leave that question right there, and if time permits, we can revisit it. But initially, you should not do it, because if you will fail in solving that particular question, then the temperament has an avalanche effect. Temperament is an avalanche effect. If you are doing well in the examination, the next question, which you might not have done, can do because of this avalanche. Do you understand avalanche? A small snow creates a storm. So it is just like a small chemical release just change the way of thinking. If you get depressed in particular question, you might be it might be the situation you are not able to solve those questions which you can solve in peaceful mind. And if you can solve that question, some question, then you are so high in your power and your brain is very happy that I can solve those questions, because brain is a most lethargic human organ and it can be trained. It can be trained easily. It can always be acclimatized. It can always we can always force our brain to solve questions properly. So in that question, yes, this is my clear-cut suggestion. If you stuck in a particular question in the examination time, leave it. But in the peace time, what you're going through now, if you stuck in any question, then don't leave it. Because there are two times in life. One is peace time, one is war time. Peace time is when you are doing research. At that time, you have to be patient. At that time, you have to work. You have to go against the situation, what is in front of you. You have to think a lot, you have to work harder, you have to spend time on one question. But when there is an exam, you have no choice. You are in a war zone. If you are in a war zone, you can't do research. Research is always done in the peace time. So do research in the peace time, but examination time, yes, it is a clear-cut advice, leave that question. Now, sir, you asked and you explained very well the etymology of the pedagogy, because it is very important to understand that art of learning makes us human. Even I'm not a student in terms of standard education system. I'm not studying in a particular class. But if I am not a student, I am not alive at the same time, because art of learning, in teaching, we have to these things, this is our responsibility, but at the same time, as you have said, this is our responsibility to make them a man which has a capability of learning. Because learning capability, मेरे पिताजी कहते थे, पढ़ने की आदत होनी चाहिए. वो अपनी भाषा में बोलते थे. वो कह रहे तुम नहीं भी पढ़ रहे हो ना, कोई काम नहीं है, तो पेपर नहीं है, फिर भी आदत होनी चाहिए. अखबार पढ़ो, आदत होनी चाहिए. चीजों को पढ़ो, समझो, क्योंकि जितना ज्यादा आप अपने दिमाग को यूज करेंगे. सर, अगर वही सेम पुरानी बातें जो हमेशा कहते हैं, if I want to biceps, then I have to do exercise for biceps. If I want to make my brain sharp, then I have to do exercises for brain. And what is exercise for brain? Analysis is the exercise of the brain. And as the patterns are changing, because initially what happened, the school system, I'm sorry to say that, but the school system become lethargic, because they know the only question which will be asked to them, how many students of your school got 95% in board examination? Nobody was asking what he or she is doing in the career. Nobody was asking. Everybody was asking, so they cracked the scheme for getting good marks in board examination. They know the pattern. So they understood that, okay, I just let them mug up all these things and he or she is going to crack this board examination with the flying colors. And they started, the teachers become lethargic, the system become lethargic, and they started feeding in the same manner what is important for board examination only. They don't have a vision. They don't have a vision to inculcate the habit of learning, a habit of thinking. But now even the policymakers are thinking that we have to change this situation, and they have introduced, as you said, they have introduced question based on application, reasoning, decision making in different cases, because these are the exercises what you're doing at the time of study will be useful when you're going to face the exam of life. Because analytical skill, applications, decision making, do you understand, decision making is a very, very important point in life, because a wrong decision will definitely lead you to some other path. So it is very important. That's why it is all about real life context, graphs, understanding graph. You understand, people in big companies, finance companies, who understands graph very well, who understand basic maths very well, they earns in crores, because they know the graph is going like this, and this kind of pattern is showing, so it might be happening. If they can predict the future, if you have a power to predict the future, then obviously you are the most valuable person to any company. And how can you get the power of prediction? By observing graphs. So graphs are very much important, and you have to learn. हमें लगता है कि सिर्फ y और x दे दिया है, ये सवाल करने के लिए है. भाई, एजुकेशन इज नॉट मेड टू कि तुम्हें कुछ करने के लिए नहीं था, तुम्हारे लिए कुछ काम करवा देते हैं. Education is useful. Who says education is not useful is a foolish guy. Sometimes I heard this kind of statement: कि why the hell they teach us sin theta, cos theta? It is never of use of anything. But analyzing and pushing your brain to understand sin theta, cos theta, even you are not going to the field of the maths and science, even you are doing some other kind of job after school examination, but still, when somebody was pushing you to think about sin theta and cos theta, it is giving you power of analysis, it is giving you power of understanding, it is giving you power of analyzing the situation, it is giving you the power of understanding the problem. So this is why it is very important. And maths and science we are going to talk about, both are very, very analytical things what we are going to talk about.
So what I can make out that we have created these CBQs, competency-based questions, and they are somehow, first you have introduced the problem that we had a gap in education, school education system. And I also understand that that is the place where this coaching thing evolved, right? To fill that particular gap. Now, how we are doing things differently this time, and like how they are better, like what we were doing earlier, and how this competency-based question, what new things they are bringing in now.
So first of all, people don't understand CBQ. They think. They think I am in my board examination. What is the need of CBQ? My aim is not to go to IIT. I just wanted to just complete my 12th examination, 10th examination, and I have to join my father's business. This is nonsense. This is not something I meant for. I am unable to solve it. Only toppers can do this. These kind of myths are there. These kind of myths are there. So first of all, let me make it very, very loud and clear. There is nothing like born topper. There is nothing like born toppers. There is nothing like that nobody can learn. There is nothing like that this guy is more intelligent than me. There is nothing like God has given him some extra power. There is nothing like that, beta. It is all you. It is all you. It is all your manifestation. It is all your brain power which make you what you are. You have to believe that you are. Why you are thinking like this question? Because I have heard this. That's why I put it in this slide. CBQs are only for toppers. What, sir? You are also in the same business for last many years, and you are a good student also. So, what do you think? Is there any word like toppers? I mean, is there any special feature for toppers other than their self help.
I would like to put it in that way that nobody is like super talented, topper material student.
Absolutely agree.
All the toppers I've met, they were, in better words, they were naturally inclined towards understanding of things.
Absolutely.
They were naturally inclined. Unko, we did not have to, when you get around toppers, उनको बोलना नहीं पड़ेगा कि you have to study for 4 hours chemistry and 4 hours maths. They are doing it themselves. All these planning, all these strategies, they already are applying. We just had to, go there. They are the simplest types of classes.
Absolutely.
You just have to take 2, 3, 4, 5 good quality questions and move. You don't have to draw too many diagrams because they are already learning that particular section or chapter by themselves, right? So basically, myths and realities. First, sir, is the CBQs are only for toppers. That is not the case. ये myth है. You must write long answers. That is also not true. There is only one correct
Way.
So this is also what we were talking about from past half an hour, that this is also not true. Now, sir, can you explain this approach, reality plus examples?
Yeah. So first of all, as we have suggested that there is nothing like born topper. You can be topper. It is all about you. I mean, it is all in your hand. Anybody can be topper. Topper is something. Topper becomes someone who after the result. Before result, everybody is same. It is all about how much effort you are going to put in. It is all about how much you are serious to become topper. Topper comes after result. Nobody can be topper before result. I mean, until unless you are proven guilty in the court, you cannot be called guilty. In the same way, until unless you qualify your exam with flying colors, you're not called topper. So don't judge that some of the students of your class are topper because exams are not over yet. Exams are still there. I mean, it will come to you. You can be topper. It is about you also. You can be topper. So this is very important point. And it is all about not writing long answers. It is about understanding the question. It is about you might answer in small form also, and there is a word called laconic, who gives answer in a very few words, but gives answers such a meaningful answer that people cannot explain it in a page. So obviously there is nothing like long answer must be given. ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. First of all, ये जो हमारे लिए है, ये जो बनाया है पैटर्न, ये सबके लिए बनाया है बेटा. It is not going to be difficult. First of all, डरिए मत कि ये बहुत डिफिकल्ट बनाया गया. सब कुछ सोचते हुए बनाया गया है. मेथड के लिए मार्क्स हैं, रीजनिंग के लिए मार्क्स हैं. यहाँ पर कंसाइज स्ट्रक्चर्ड आंसर हमें देने हैं. लेंदी आंसर से ज्यादा नंबर उनको मिले जाएंगे. मल्टीपल valid approaches is justify, यानी कि ऐसा नहीं there is only one correct way to solve question. There is only one correct way नहीं है. Obviously we always say that for any problem you can think what is the best method which comes in your mind. और एक पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन के 4 मेथड हो सकते हैं.
6 भी पढ़ाते हैं सर.
हम लोग यार 6 8 मेथड है. मैंने कहा मेरे दिमाग में ये रास्ता गुजरा. भाई ऑब्वियसली तुम ये तो कॉमन सेंस की बात है ना भाई. आपको अगर दिल्ली से कानपुर जाना है तो क्या आपके पास, मैं तो बहुत लिमिटेड जगह की बात कर रहा हूं, फिर भी क्या एक ही तरीका थोड़ी है दिल्ली से कानपुर जाने का. दिल्ली से कानपुर में कई तरीके हैं हमारे पास. सिमिलरली एक प्रॉब्लम के आंसर में पहुंचने के कई तरीके हो सकते हैं. दे आर लिंक्ड, डेफिनेटली दे आर एक्चुअली लिंक्ड. they are doing the same thing in different format. साइंस, अगर मैं फिजिक्स के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से करूं, यस देयर इज ओनली वन करेक्ट वे, देयर मस्ट बी वन करेक्ट वे, but you can have a different version of that way and we have to write one of the version. We never need to worry about कि एक ही करेक्ट तरह का आंसर होगा. कहीं दूसरे तरह के आंसर में करूं तो नंबर मिलेंगे कि नहीं मिलेंगे? बिल्कुल मिलेंगे. मैं आपको एग्जांपल बताता हूं. आज से कई 20-25 साल पहले वो जो हमारा 20 साल लगभग मान लें जे एडवांस्ड एग्जामिनेशन हुआ करता था, वो सब्जेक्टिव हुआ करता था. सब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चंस का मतलब यू हैव टू राइट डाउन द मेथड आल्सो. subjective questions were there as board
There
exam.
were marks for steps.
There were marks for steps. This is also correct. Ki marks for steps was there. Initially, after setting the examination, the JEE committee, for example, for physics, they have appointed 15 professors who are going to talk about this physics test and then going to check physics test. And they come up with, for every question, they come up with at least 5, 6, 8 solutions type. Variation of approaches and solutions. There are 6 possible variations are there. And they see 6 possible variations. And sometimes in the examination, some of the students come up with a somewhat different solution.
Great.
So what is the strategy those guys have made? If a different solution will come, they will have a meeting and discuss that and add that particular solution, and it will be given to, again, that later if somebody come up with this kind of solution, it is also correct solution. So this kind of situation is there, and we are moving towards it. We are moving towards why IT are so precious places. Yeah, aims are so precious places because of the examination preparation makes them strong. प्रिपरेशन के टाइम से मैंने चुन लिया यार कि ये एम्स का डॉक्टर है, ये आईटी में जाएगा, इसको हमने चुन लिया. ये वही चुनने वाला प्रोसेस है जो हमने सही करे, तो उसको वो ढीला नहीं छोड़ सकते थे.
It is cream of general consciousness.
Absolute.
Students.
बिल्कुल. तो मल्टीपल वैलिड अप्रोचेस होती है. कभी भी आपको ये नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि यही अप्रोच सही है कि. तो अब हमारे सीबीएसई में उन्होंने कैटेगराइज किया कि व्हाट काइंड ऑफ कॉम्पिटेंसी बेस्ड क्वेश्चन को किस तरह से हम देखेंगे, किस तरह की सिचुएशंस होगी, उन पे हम एक एक करके चर्चा करेंगे. सर क्या है वो 4 केस? सर एप्लीकेशन बेस्ड 2 बार लिख दिया, 3 ही तरीके के हैं मेनली.
Case based है. When we have different, we'll break
Scenario.
Whatever situation is in front of us and happening, we'll make basically different cases. In this particular case, this will happen. What will be the outcome of that? Then there is application-based question in which we are only focused on the application. That means we have to apply all the formulae, all the things which are very fundamental, and you should be they should be on your tips. You don't have to derive it in the exam itself. You should remember by heart. Then there is data interpretation, which is very important from the perspective of JEE advanced question, because there will be some data. Then there will be graph questions. Then there will be assertion reason questions. Might be you have to interpret what is written. So here comes in science. Science is basically language to understand nature. Science gives you that vocabulary. It force, momentum, impulse. All these things are words and vocabulary which give you power to analyze the situation in physics, if we talk about physics. So there will be different data interpretation question in which you have to interpret what is in front of you and then apply all the fundamental things which sir will teach you in the class.
Yeah. So as sir has discussed about this
and we have examples as well.
Absolutely. First, let me put another. I'll come up with some example right here. We'll later take the example. Application based. You will understand what does sir say at that time, that you have to use formula. Application based question. Let me put some one of the example in mathematics. For example, there is a quadratic equation given, and they are asking the roots of the equation. Then obviously it is a question of application. You just must knowing that how to find out roots, and there is nothing more than that. If you have read that particular thing, you can answer that question. So this is application-based question in mathematics. In the same way, for example, somebody asks the object is kept in front of a concave mirror at a distance 20 centimeter and the focal length of the mirror is 50 centimeter, and they are interested to know where the image is formed. Then this is also a application-based question in science. Here, application-based question are the same question what used to come in examination before that. So application-based question is not at all a new thing which is going to happen in front of you.
Sir, there is a very important point here that all the different examinations like JEE Mains, JEE Advanced and NEET, they take different percentages of category.
Absolutely.
And application-based questions. So if you take NEET paper, 80 to 90% questions are application based. So they are important. And
Absolutely.
we have to pay attention, and we have to give them their due.
Respect.
We have to recognize that they are the main players
Absolutely.
to learn anything.
And believe me, number of application-based questions, even in competitive exams, are more. Not forget about J Advanced, but J Mains and NEET application-based questions are there, and both examination also these kind of questions will be there. You need not to worry about them, and they actually try to understand application-based question uh, is a very integral part of analytical skill, because at least you know the situation and you know the answer. At least life become easier, because in some situation of life, it also, if I want to put this thing in life also, this is an application based thing. For example, if there is something wrong in your bike, then what you should do? It's an application based question. You know that what is the next thing. If there is no petrol is about to end, then you have to think that I have to go to petrol pump before driving on this highway, because petrol is less amount. This is also kind of application, because you know the real question and you know the very straightforward answer for that. You know, straightforward solution for that. And this is application based question. Case based question, where they will not directly say that this formula is going to take place. And generally, when there are language questions, for example, in mathematics also, if somebody will say that there is a tower and some angles are making, and after height and distance kind of question, they give a case scenario. They give a case scenario, and you have to analyze that particular case. In this case scenario, you have to do two things. There are two kind of approaches to solve case-based question. Number one is called bottom-up approach. Number two is called top-down approach. And generally, I prefer top-down approach in case-based question. What is to be find out? Top-down approach means you will start from top and go to the down deep to the concept. You will say, this is what we have to find out. I will find out this if I know this. Now my question changes. I have to find out this. Now, if I have to find this, I have to find this. And I have to check, can I find it directly? Then you will see at the last stage, you will see this is totally application based. Case based is just a strategy plus application based. Strategy plus application based. And sometimes you have to go with a top down, bottom up approach. You will start what is happening here. This is what is happening, main thing. And if this happens, this will happen, 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 and you'll reach to the answer. So case-based questions are solved by two methods. One is called top-down, one is called bottom-up. It is absolutely depending on the particular question and particular way of thinking. Nothing is wrong or right. Nothing is more colorful. Nothing is better than other. I mean, both approaches are correct. You have to understand the question language. You have to convert that case-based question into application-based question. This is your responsibility. And the third is data interpretation. You are living in the world of data. You are living in the world of data. Data interpretation is very much important, because if you want to come up with some kind of, for example, I have seen that the sales of my product in a company is declining, and some other competitor is getting benefit out of it, and it is getting more sales. Then the data will help us to understand what problem is there, which reason is not finding my product satisfactory, what kind of people are not finding. Then only this data analysis, you know, everything is data these days. At least you understand this word data. Even every local, whether they are in education or not, everybody already understand this word data, because this world is of data. Because AI is AI. Intelligence comes with the analysis of data. Intelligence comes with the analysis of data. How good you are in interpreting the data is called intelligence. And when people understood this is called intelligence, they start gathering data, and gathering data in many years, they have come with such kind of phenomenal solutions of AI, which has a power to do anything. It is all about data. The data interpretation is a very big graph. I was talking about graph in the finance company. That is also kind of data interpretation. As sir suggested, the question based on assertion, reason type. This is also kind of interpretation that you understand this question is the correct. Why this is correct? If you know this statement is correct, another statement is correct, is it correct because of this statement or this correct independently? So this is also kind of language interpretation. Language and data are the same thing. Data, it might be in numbers, language is also in words. The interpretation of language and data is the same kind of thing. I hope it is clear. Am I correct, sir?
Yeah.
Yes.
We can move on. Now, we have some examples, sir, from definition to application. So in this, generally,
Traditionally question जो आते थे,
after every chapter there is a set of questions, and
पहले बोर्ड में भी ऐसे ही पूछते थे कि
general books, the define photosynthesis, define force, give 2 examples, questions like these. So these questions are like a gone word, new word is here. When we have to ask define photosynthesis, this is the right way to ask the student that a student places a plant under green light and observes slow growth. What could be the reason? Explain using your knowledge of photosynthesis and light absorption. Now, what is the difference? What is the basic difference? This question incites some type of curiosity and scientific aptitude in a student from very beginning, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. So from very beginning, we are leading the child in a way of development of the brain of that particular part, which uses the analysis, which uses the interpretation models. Right, sir?
Yes, absolutely, sir.
So can you explain this, sir? What I can see in this question, a student places a plant under green light because all the plants, majority of the plants are green, so they are reflecting the green light. So if you give only green light,
yeah. So because, for example, if somebody asks me anything, I mean, for example, what is work? Let's say, I will talk about physics. What is work? If I remember, I wrote it like this. If we multiply force with the displacement in direction of force, it is work. If this kind of question will come, I'll write this answer. And a good student who understood the work, who has a curiosity to understand work. What does work mean? What does it do? What is the effect of work? How force can do work? What is the output of work? Who has invested so much in learning and understanding the definition of work. He is not just happy by saying this is the work. As somebody, sir, in the movie 3 Idiots, when the definition of machine is being asked,
yes,
they have clearly shown an example that Chatur has come up with some kind of bookish rote learning definition of that machine.
Correct.
But now people understand this is not working because what will happen? It will not work
because it's there on Google, it's there on ChatGPT. It's a matter of few seconds. You type and you'll get the answer. So everybody has that knowledge,
and nobody will hire you for that knowledge, which is free available. People will hire you. You will be employable in life. You will be competent in life if you can use that knowledge. And this is where you want to understand. Here they are asking in green light why it is not happening, because it is not giving sufficient energy. You must understand. You must understand that it is
although not. We don't teach biology, but
no, still there is a physics also, because leaves are green. Why leaves are green? Because they reflect green color. So if only green light is falling, so they reflect everything.
They are not absorbing anything.
They are not absorbing anything. They are not getting any kind of energy. If they are not getting any kind of energy,
slow growth,
then obviously the growth will be very.
The process of photosynthesis will be hampered.
Obviously hampered, because that is why green light. If they say blue light, white light, then there might be another question. Green light has an important value here because green light is not being absorbed by green things. You understand? I hope.
By asking these kind of questions, we are challenging teachers also.
We are challenging. The policymaker wanted to change system. If you want to make a Strong change in society, you have to make a strong change in education. Without education, society can never change. So you have to educate. And education, if you let them be lethargic, they will lethargic. They will be lethargic.
And
Even
this education sir is talking about is not only for students. It's for
absolutely.
teachers, for
Teachers also.
management, what new tools and strategies are coming in so we can make use of all those tools which we have these days.
So for first of all, so what we understood by this, I'll explain again. What we understood by this, that there are two concepts mixed here. One is that anything, sir, t-shirt is light blue. Why it is light blue? Why it is light blue? It is in the chapter. It is the chapter of light. Why it is blue? Because it is reflecting. White light is falling on this. It is reflecting this color. And your eyes
absorbing all
the others. And photosynthesis, plants needs energy from sunlight. And they are green, it means they reflect green for sure. They reflect green for sure. Or if only green light will come, they will reflect everything. If they will reflect everything, then they're not absorbing anything. If they're not absorbing anything, you are not eat. For example, you eat something, and whatever you eat, you vomit immediately. You will fall sick, because until you will absorb energy, you cannot flourish. Obviously, your growth will be hampered. This is what this question is. This is a very wonderful question kept here. And these kind of questions, where we get these kind of questions, we have come up in the rapid revision program of S. Chan, where we have kept these kind of questions so that it will help you to understand. And believe me, there are not many type of questions. If you understand the concept very well, it is a one-day job to understand the concept. It is difficult job to memorize this. Because you are memorizing, you are mugging up all this information just like that. And if you understand what photosynthesis means, you never need to mug up all those definitions, and nobody is asking those definitions now. They understand. You can answer this question very well.
Only those students will answer this question who really know about photosynthesis
and light
and the way light works.
Absolutely.
So can we move on?
Yes, sir. Yes. So this is another example of mathematics.
Mathematics solving equation in context. So you can see these kind of questions everywhere in the mathematics books. So we are changing this way. Because what happens, we start hitting X, that X is a very bad entity in our life, and everybody asks, find X, find X, find X, and we have no idea where to find this X. So now we are changing things a little bit, that we are giving context to these symbols. This X, what is 3X plus 5? We are giving more meaning to questions. Like Anjali wants to buy 3 pens and 1 notebook for rupees 17. If each pen cost X and notebook cost 5 form, and solve the equation to find the price of pen. So you will get some relevance, you will get some connection to your real life. Right, and you can think in a better way, that you can apply this in your real life also. Right, sir?
Absolutely. Absolutely. अभी मैं आपसे एक हमारा contemporary test हमारा है. एक बच्चे ने एक case based सवाल भेजा.
हाँ, मैंने
पढ़ा आपने. अपन उस सवाल के बारे में थोड़ी चर्चा करते हैं. There is nothing, because it is a case based question of social science, and there is nothing like there is nothing like black and white. This is only one way to write the correct answer. It's the best example that there is not even one way to write the answer. There might be multiple ways to that kind of tricky questions. Generally, IAS examination interviews being asked. So this is also kind of case-based question. The question says, it is obviously not related with science and maths, but obviously we'll try to give a try, because we never ever get afraid of any kind of question. So the question says, let's suppose you are a district magistrate, DM of a district, where a controversial industrial project is about to start. Controversial in the sense, the project promises economic growth,
okay,
but has significant environmental and social impact.
Okay.
How would you handle the situation, ensuring a balance between development and social environmental concern? So What is your say on this? So
First
obviously,
of all, the question starts with you are the DM. So
a case study is a case study. So you have to think like that. So my first answer is that life is the situation, case-based real life situation is not that very straightforward and cannot be categorized in just by these two words only, that it has a social and uh, environmental impact. We have to understand what social environmental effects are there. If they are very, very harmful, we have to weigh what industrial benefit industries are definitely benefit the society and development. And there is another thing, social and environmental disbalance, imbalance. So we have to weigh both of them. So let's say both are equally okay. I mean, let's say we will put, this is also very important. You have to categorize things in numbers. First of all, you have to understand. For example, if the gas is coming out from that industry, is 100% guaranteeing that everybody in that city or village will die in next 10 years, then obviously I'll say you should not go for this kind of thing. But if it is a kind of another kind of environmental damages, another kind of social, we have to see, we have to weigh. We cannot say very bullion about it. For example, we have to create an industry which is not harming at all, but we have to create an industry in a place where near a place where the forests are there. So let's say a very simple example, even it is a very complicated thing, but let's say we have this kind of situation. So in my opinion, it is if we have to completely vanish this jungle or forest to establish that particular for industry, it is not at all suggested. We can definitely come up with a place nearby that forest which is suitable for this. Which sometimes it may harm, it may be somewhere not in the village area. People need to go to work there. It might be the possible, because I don't want it to hurt the nature, natural resources, नेचर को हार्म नहीं करना चाहिए. तो कहीं ना कहीं हमें एक दूसरा प्लेस ढूंढना चाहिए which is equally good or at least 90% good as that particular place ki wo hai. It might be cheaper. So if it is a matter of money, the company is putting in, they might have it might be more costly to establish this thing at other place than to in the jungle. Then government need to support that company in terms of loans, in terms of kind of aid to those company, that this has to be there, this has to be there. Obviously the balancing is a very tricky job. That's what administrative services has to do. Balancing of right and wrong has to be there in our life also. It is also always there. We cannot अति सर्वत्र वर्जित है. किसी भी चीज की इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन की अति भी बहुत खराब है, पर हम इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन को खत्म ही कर देंगे, नेचर को थोड़ा सा नुकसान ना दें, वो भी बहुत खराब है. तो हमें बैलेंस बना के ही चलना चाहिए. तो आई होप दिस विल आंसर योर क्वेश्चन.
And that balance comes from interpretation of data.
Absolutely.
And
Balance.
education.
Absolutely. Very good. Okay. So I have already told you about this is the rapid revision program. You can buy this book. You can definitely use this book or for the purpose of your revision, for your board examination. Definitely, we are going to it is going to help you a lot. So this is how, because this is the end of the time, we have to wrap up things now. So we have to go ahead. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening us. Thank you very much for showing a good interest in science and maths. And thank you very much that you are interested to learn things, new things. And I believe that you guys are going to rock in your life. You are the future of this nation. I love you all. Thank you very much. The most one thing in life is खुश रहना. इसलिए please हमेशा खुश रहिए. Thank you very much. Yes, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir, and thank you to all the participants for joining today and all the active participation. And yes, again, congratulations to all the quiz winners. I hope all of this has, you must have received some benefits from this learning. And we would love if you spread the word and encourage others to join in and benefit from all these wonderful opportunities. Thank you so much again, NMS sir. Thank you so much, students, and have a nice day. Good luck.
Bye, member.